Hi everybody. Hey. This is our inaugural time, so bear with us. So I think we might need to adjust this just a little bit.
Oh yeah, it went down a little bit.
Yeah. So this is Crescent Coast in the kitchen, and yeah, we're really glad that or is that better?
Can it go up a little more? Tighten it down.
Yeah. We're doing this live.
A little more.
Yeah.
A little more lower. Mm-hmm. It keeps like falling back down.
Yeah. You get to witness our adjustments tonight if you're with us. So that's actually it's cool, you know. Is it better?
Yep. No, it was.
You can't see the tops of our heads.
I wonder why it changed after it started. Yeah. It was set up. Okay, that's perfect.
See, it takes a team, right? It takes a team to get it all right.
Oh, it went back down.
It wants to kind of let go. So maybe overcorrect.
Just push it back a little. Oh,
that's good.
That was it. Yep, don't touch it.
Awesome.
Don't breathe on it.
Yeah, I know. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you're joining us tonight. We're Crescent Coast in the kitchen. Most of you know us as Crescent Coast real estate experts and as real estate agents that serve the Crescent Coast area of South Carolina. And that's everywhere from, the Georgetown on the south end of that, all the way up to close to the North Carolina border up there in the Cherry Grove area. Yeah, and Little Rivers, like those are great areas. And so, but we, as a team, we really so value our clients and our friends. And this is a time of year where you think about what you're thankful for. And we appreciate you so much. And we were brainstorming, like, what can we do to show our clients and our friends how much we appreciate them? We thought about a big party, but just with the circumstances that are going on, not just in the United States and worldwide right now, we weren't sure if that was the best way to go. And we were like, wouldn't it be great? Like, isn't it fun to have people over for dinner and you sit at the kitchen bar and like you cook and you talk? And it's like, well, let's do that, but we'll just do it online. We'll do it Facebook Live. So here you are with us. So you're sitting at our bar, and so just maybe pour yourself a glass of wine or a Coca-Cola, whatever you like, and be with us while we cook our holiday favorites. So there's actually things that we love to have on our holiday tables, and we thought we'd just share that with you. Before we really get started with the cooking, I just want to most of you know me, Lane Moradu, as the founder and team leader of Crescent Coast Experts, and you've met April Burrell-Stevens, our buyer's agent. But one thing that's really exciting for us tonight is to introduce our newest team member, Megan McGuire, and she is just weeks away from her college degree with a minor in real estate and her real estate license, and she adds such a fresh perspective and balance to our team. She is actually joining us as our customer care manager. And, many of you, we already know, we already talk to on a regular basis. We're already friends with you, already working with you. But, if you come to our team like brand spanking new, there's a good chance you're going to talk to our Megan and you will love her. So anyway, so here we all are, and we're glad you're joining us. What is going to be on our menu tonight? I'm going to make the turkey, a Tuscan turkey roulade. And April is going to make her southern favorite of pineapple casserole. And Megan's going to make her grandma's mac and cheese recipe. For us, it's just not the holidays without having those on the table. So Megan actually really needs to start. You need to get that macaroni in the boiling water. And actually, let me put this on the stronger burner. You can probably still just go ahead and put it in. Yeah. And so, this is low tech. This is just, we're learning as we go, and this is our first time. And so we just decided, you're our friends and you'll forgive us if we're not HGTV or Food Network. So any gaffe we make, you're going to see it, and we're not going to edit it out.
All right. So I use Celentani pasta, any corkscrew pasta, but really any, mac and cheese, any pasta's good with that cheese. So pour that into some boiling water. You can get that cooking.
All right. How long is that going to take, Megan, do you think?
Like 10 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's going to give me just enough time because that turkey roulade is kind of interesting. It has, I have the turkey spread out, like it's flat, and it's a turkey breast that's been deboned. But we stuff it. Like we put layers in between it to make it flavorful and moist.
And what's the fancy word for being spread out?
Spatchcock. Yeah, spatchcock. We debated on whether or not to use that word tonight.
It's a fancy culinary word. We
many
need to inform
Yeah.
and educate.
Use the right words.
Yeah. Well, so I'm putting olive oil in the pan. So it's the funniest thing. It's like here, it's me, April, and Megan, and it really was not a prerequisite to join this team, but we all like really love to cook, and so we just have a really good time together. And so as this olive oil heats up, I'm just going to add some onion to that.
See, we have at least 3 people watching, but I can't see who they are.
I know.
So, hi.
Hi, thank
You're
you.
watching us.
Thank you for watching. Text your friends and have them tune in. Yeah. So that's onion, and then this is fennel seed. And so it's a Tuscan turkey roulade, so Tuscan inspired, like Italy
That smells
inspired.
good already.
Yeah. So, and I cannot take credit for this recipe. It's an Ina Garden Barefoot Contessa recipe, and I'm very happy. Yeah, I know.
She's so
I
good.
wish you were my next door neighbor. That's what I wish.
We would cook too much, and then we would have to work out more than
I
we
know.
already do.
I know.
Your water boiling? Don't watch it. It won't boil.
One thing that we come across a lot with clients, we have local clients, sure, and you guys know the area really well, but a lot of people move into Myrtle Beach because it's so beautiful. The weather's so magnificent, and they really don't know the areas. But maybe they vacationed here, maybe they stayed around the Sky Wheel. But Myrtle Beach is so much more than that. I talked about Crescent Coast, so Myrtle Beach is kind of in the middle of that crescent. And, April, how would you, why don't you just tell us about some of the areas that are in this whole?
Well, starting up north, sometimes people don't really know what's where,
Right.
and they just think, oh, Myrtle Beach, but really there's Litchfield. I mean, there's Little River that starts up north. Then you've got Cherry Grove.
Mhm.
And then from there you've got North Myrtle Beach. And then North Myrtle Beach encompasses Windy Hill, Crescent Beach,
Mhm.
Atlantic Beach. There's all different parts of North Myrtle Beach. And then, of course, you've got Barefoot there, Briarcliff. And then you get into Myrtle Beach proper. And then there's all different parts of Myrtle Beach, too. You've got the avenues. And then once you get down further from Myrtle Beach, a little further south, you've got Market Common. And then further south from Market Common, there's Surfside, and then Garden City, Merle's Inlet. And then further south from that, you've got Litchfield, Pawleys Island, and then finally Georgetown. So there's a lot of different places. And then even if you go west a little bit, there's Carolina Forest, there's Conway. So there's a lot of parts to it. And it also always gets lumped together as just Myrtle Beach, But all those places are vastly different from one another.
They
all have their own personalities.
They really do. And if you take Pawleys Island, Pawleys Island is quiet, and it has homes that were built, back in the 70s, and big, beautiful homes. But there's new construction there now, and it's got large homes, and it has condos as well. But it's not really
a lot of mom and pop.
Yeah, a lot of mom and pop shops. No high rises whatsoever. Everything is very subtle, kind of hidden in the trees.
And their nickname is Arrogantly Shabby.
Arrogantly Shabby.
So
Right.
that kind of explains it perfectly.
It
And
does.
the biggest store they have there is a Publix. Other than that, it's like a fresh market.
Yeah.
And they do have a Tuesday morning, but lots of mom and pop places to eat too. Like Frank's Out Back. Those are great places. Chop Blossom.
Yeah.
There's lots of good places there that, like Myrtle Beach has a lot. Myrtle Beach proper has a lot of chains,
Yeah.
and a lot of mom and pop. But Pawleys Island, I think, per capita has more mom and pop places.
Yeah, it feels like it's all mom and pop. Like it's clothing boutiques and gift boutiques and just smaller scale.
It's a
And
fun
then-
place to go shop
right.
for the day. Find unique items.
Yeah. And then, April went ahead and mentioned Myrtle Beach. You kind of slide north, and you hit Surfside, and they call that the family beach. I think for
It's
good
a great
reason.
spot.
Yeah,
for
so-
sure.
yeah.
And the golf cart lifestyle is huge there.
Yeah.
You can, and in Litchfield too. We kind of forgot Litchfield there. You can
We
golf
did.
cart because so many people call and ask about golf cart. We want a golf cart to the beach or walk to the beach. And Litchfield and Surfside and North Myrtle Beach, I feel like offer those the most. But
Yeah.
Litchfield for sure had Litchfield by the Sea.
Mhm.
And then further up, there's Merle's Inlet, which doesn't have a beach, but it's got the marsh walk.
Yeah, that's really unique, that marsh walk.
And the marsh walk is gorgeous. The whole inlet is gorgeous. You can also have access to the waterway there, to the intercoastal, which is great. So
yeah, don't forget the intercoastal. You think beach here, and the beaches, we have beautiful beaches and lots, miles and miles of beaches. But don't forget our intercoastal waterways and the Waccamaw River. Like that has really phenomenal lifestyle as well. So I'm going to put in the garlic. So this is onion and fennel seed and garlic. And we'll just kind of let this saute. This only goes for 1 minute because garlic burns. In fact, I'm going to turn this heat off because it's already so hot. I'm cooking on an electric stove, and honestly, this is the first time in my adult life that I've had an electric stove in a house.
You had gas at the resort?
I did.
That. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I lived in the Market Common before. Loved the Market Common, but moved to a little bit different area, more of on the river. And but it just so happened. I mean, this house could have been built with a gas stove, but it just wasn't.
Yeah.
So you guys are seeing Lane learn to cook on an electric stove. So anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah, it really is.
And I mean, OS electric helps you not burn things because it doesn't get as hot as fast. But you definitely have it's a different way of cooking.
You have to get used to it.
Yes, you do. So once you get used to it, you'll probably switch it out for gas.
I know. I don't even know what to do.
But anyway, moving up from Merle's Inlet, the Marsh Walk, the river. You've got Garden City, which is sometimes kind of blurred from Merle's Inlet, like that area. And you've got beautiful beach there, Garden City. Gulfstream Cafe. Have you ever been there?
I have been to the Gulfstream Cafe.
Beautiful place to eat.
Just real quick, I added sage and some rosemary.
She chopped it up.
Yeah, I chopped it up, just a couple tablespoons. And if you guys want the recipe, I'll post it. But also, if you look up Ina Garden's Tuscan Turkey Roulade, you're going to find it. But anyway, keep going about that. Yes.
So yeah, Garden City is gorgeous, and then Garden City kind of runs into Surfside, and like Lane was saying, it's the family beach. You can golf cart to the beach from there, and Garden City, all different price ranges too. You've got manufactured homes. Yeah. You've got beachfront, mansions.
Yep.
You've got hotels and condos, and you do have some hotels, but a lot of what's on Garden City and Surfside Beach are, rentable properties that owners have purchased and they rent them out themselves. So that's always a great way to buy yourself an inexpensive place to vacation.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I think it's super unique about and we're calling it the greater Myrtle Beach area. It can also be called Crescent Coast, and that's why we're Crescent Coast real estate experts. But it's like you can buy an oceanfront condo for $80,000. Or you can spend a couple million on an oceanfront home. Like, we just really have the entire gamut, like, regardless of what your budget or your preferences are.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Megan, are you ready for us?
I think we need a few more minutes. It's almost done.
Okay. Good. So tell us what goes into this mac and cheese.
So there's a few cheeses. We have Munster, sharp cheddar, mild cheddar, Monterey Jack, and then Velveeta.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very cheesy, but
Yeah,
that's what makes it
delicious.
good. So it's it's a half a cup of each cheese, 1 cup of Velveeta cheese, though. So
yeah. Well, what I'm really intrigued by this, because I've made homemade mac and cheese before, but it started with butter and flour. You have to cook that together, and then you put in the cheese and milk. And I like that this does not require that butter and flour at the beginning. Yeah, it sounds so
It has the butter,
easier.
but no flour.
Yeah.
I wish y'all could see that Margot is laying between the island and the sink.
She's waiting for
She's doing her job.
Yes, like when we drop little, bits of cheese or whatever.
What kind of dog is Margot again?
Yeah, she's a French spaniel. It's like a Brittany spaniel, but not quite.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she's busy.
I know. I might pick her up.
She's a sweet girl. Yeah. So from Surfside, we have Market Common, which is a very unique area, and Lane knows a lot about it. She used to live there.
So the Market Common. It's really nicely developed now, but it was an Air Force base. It's one of the redevelopment Air Force bases. When years ago, it's been over a couple of decades now, when many Air Force bases across the United States, not as Air Force, but military bases that were really no longer needed, were closed. And that was kind of devastating for the Myrtle Beach area economy, because they really were they really needed those soldiers,
Mm.
you know, to for the economy. And so when that closed down, it's like, what were they going to do? And they had to figure out how to redevelop it. And what they did is they did a planned urban development. It's amazing because within the market common, you can walk, ride your bike, or ride your golf cart to stores and shops and different homes, and even to the beach.
Yeah.
And it's right beside, like the property is, if you know this area at all, it's between Highway 17 bypass and Highway 17 business, also known as Kings Highway. And then it abuts the airport and goes south. But by contract, the commercial airlines can't fly over Market Common. It's a really nice area.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of
Which
my
one
favorites.
is it to lower this?
The great thing about Market Common too is that you can go from watching a movie in one place to getting dessert, dinner. You can do all of that right in one spot. You can go shopping.
Mhm.
You know, you can live right there. There's everywhere from a bagel spot to fine dining.
Do you want to be here, Megan?
So all kinds of good stuff there.
This is on camera right here.
Oh,
You're off camera right now.
Oops, sorry.
you're good.
So what Megan's done is just drained her
And put that,
pickles,
yeah, put that
and
in
then
here.
On this one? All right.
put them back on
yourself.
the pot here to dry out just a little bit.
All right. So first, I cut up a cup of Velveeta and a stick of butter and 2 tablespoons of butter, and cut that up so it's easier to melt. I like to microwave it instead of throwing it in here because it takes a lot longer to kind of like mix it. So microwaving it just a little bit easier.
So the microwave's not on camera. Maybe we'll have a wide angle next time.
We'll keep getting better. We'll keep improving.
Yeah, right.
And also, I mean, we kind of have an idea for what we're doing for the next couple times that we do this, but if the folks that are watching or watch later have any suggestions or input on what you'd like to see, we'll be happy to cook anything. Try something new for the first time.
Absolutely.
We're up for it. So
Yeah.
feel free to give us suggestions on what you'd like to see. And we're not just going to do food. At some point, we'll do some drinks and desserts and that kind of thing too. So, but this we just wanted to start with since it's Thanksgiving, our Thanksgiving favorites.
Yeah.
Sure you don't
I'm
like
gonna look and I'm gonna see if there's any comments. I can't see.
Doing great, ladies.
Hey Holly, it's good to see you. And Trisha.
My friend Trisha says hi. Hey Trisha.
And
there's my
Debbie.
mom.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, gotta love the family
We're
members
up to-
tuning in.
Yeah, we're in and out of around 10 people watching, so
That's pretty
not
cool.
bad for our first one. And then we'll keep it on Facebook so y'all can, watch nonstop over and over
Oh,
on repeat.
It's gonna be a hit. It's just something that they want to watch it over and over. Yeah, I'm just a little worried about that. So.
So, Market Common is wonderful. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Donnie and I would love to live there. We just, we're not sure what neighborhood. Emmons is wonderful, so
Yeah.
definitely a spot I keep my eye on. Who loves Market Common? And then on up from there, you're in Myrtle.
Yeah. Like, and even Myrtle, like, people don't realize how big, like, Myrtle Beach is actually a city. Like, it's an address. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and it has and there's 3 different zip codes. So, I mean, it's a pretty big area.
All right, Nathan.
All right. So now that it's all melted, we'll pour that in there.
Yum.
Okay. And then, so we have the sharp cheddar cheese. So it's a half a cup of each cheese from here. So I like to leave a handful of each cheese to sprinkle on top. So kind of just get a good bit of it in there, and then about, a handful to put on top. So here's the Munster. The mild cheddar.
Hey, y'all be careful because it's hot. Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave that
And the Monterey Jack cheese.
Can't say you skipped on the cheese here.
No.
Looks so good.
I know. I'm
And we'll
excited.
mix that all together.
And she's just using one pot. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's super
nice.
easy.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 cups of half and half. Just pour that in there.
Yeah, one of those half-pint containers, that's just 2 cups
I know,
right
it's
there.
so convenient.
Yeah.
Yep.
half and half makes it so creamy and
I
good.
know, I love having.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a diet food. It's Thanksgiving.
No. Calories don't count.
Calories don't count on
On
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Nothing has any calories on Thanksgiving, and you're just gonna burn it off on Black Friday anyway, right? Fighting over the sweater table.
The TVs.
Sweater table.
Yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, so we started talking about Myrtle Beach, and so the market comment is on the southernmost border of Myrtle Beach. If you go up a little bit, you do hit that Skywheel area. That's that.
And don't forget Broadway at the beach, yeah?
Yeah, the Broadway at the beach,
Mhm.
which is there's a lot of fun restaurants and nightlife there.
And then Plantation Point, very nice neighborhood right
Yeah.
outside of there. The mall, got Crystal Grand Mall.
Yeah. So there's like if you if you need to do some shopping, Coastal Grand Mall is great, and then there's just a lot to do, a lot of restaurants, and there are more. That's the area where you're going to get a little bit more chains, chain restaurants and whatnot. I mean, the convention center is over there, and
And a lot of vacationers everywhere, but a lot right there because there's a lot of high rises.
yeah, so that's where your high rises are. So and that can be a lot of fun. I mean, it really can. There's a lot. What do you want?
Salt and pepper.
Okay, there's a lot. Yeah, right.
And don't forget the Gay Dolphin. I love that shop. It's so fun.
I haven't been in there.
It's
They have
crazy. in
so
there.
many fun things.
You get lost in
You
that
You
store.
do, you do. And tons of like little knickknacks. You're like, how do they keep up with all of them?
Yeah, the Gay Dolphin. How many? Like, what's that been there? Like 50 years or something?
Forever. Yeah, and those arcades there and the
Yeah.
baseball arcade games.
Yeah.
It's so fun. There's so much fun stuff to do
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah. And so that's like what a lot of people think of when they think about Myrtle Beach is that just quintessential, just a lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of things for young people to do as well as, their parents or whatnot. But then, but I'm thinking about Pine Lakes. It's like Pine Lakes, that area. I mean, there's been a golf cart course there for generations, and that's kind of what we call Old Myrtle Beach. It's like where
That course is called the Granddaddy.
yeah, the Granddaddy,
Yeah.
right? There's Granddaddy Drive, and it's
And
just-
then on up in the avenues, you've got 77, Portrait Drive, like beautiful,
Yeah,
older
beautiful
homes
stuff.
that are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Steps away from the beach.
Yeah.
A lot of wide variety there. Then you've got the Golden Mile, which has Cabana Row.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
People always, they'll email you occasionally and they'll be like, you can get this house for $200,000 right on the beach, and you have to remind them it's a cabana.
It's a cabana.
And you're not allowed to live there to spend the night there, but you can hang out there. And a lot of people, even if they're local, will buy one of those so they can have a spot right on the beach. It's really a cool idea.
That's a great idea.
But some people, they'll
Yeah.
think they found something, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
But there's not that many of them, so if you ever see one and you're interested in it, you gotta jump on it.
Yeah. Jump on that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and it just helps to know what you're looking at and what to think about. I mean, because for some people, like $200,000 for a cabana, but for other people, that would be like, oh, that's how I can make part of the beach my own. Because you can store your stuff in there. You can change your
Exactly.
clothes.
And there's usually a little bathroom in there, so
Yeah.
it's a great spot.
Yeah. And then, like you've got the dunes up there and the
Mhm.
Grand Dunes and
Growing so much with Del Webb, they're
Yeah.
expanding again. All the
Yeah.
Grand Dunes communities, the brand new one going in the Cape.
yeah.
So after the Cape is finished, and Ocean, I think it's like Ocean at 67th or something like that. I know I'm butchering the name of that neighborhood, but they're building it right now. After those are finished, there's not a whole lot of land left on the east side of 17 to build. So, if that's something you're thinking about doing, we got to get you in on thinking about, the future and decisions on that, because there's not going to be a whole lot of options as a resale if you want to build. So building is getting kind of scarce on the east side of 17 at this point in Myrtle.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and speak to like property values and whatnot at this point. So South Carolina, we've just kind of been a little slower to get our infrastructure built, like our roads and stuff. And so like North Carolina got theirs built faster, and so like they're already like built out, and the property prices are really high because once you have roads, people can get here. You've got the infrastructure. And so now we've got Highway 31 and some other roads finishing out. And so now, a lot of people are coming in. And like April just said, they don't make more land. And so we've had some undeveloped land close to the beach. She said east of 17. She means east of 17 business, or east of, it could be east of 17 where you are, bypass her business. And so
Yum.
there's just nowhere for property values to go but up because there just is not any more land. And so right now, South Carolina, it is if you want real estate within say 10 miles of a beach, this is the best value in the entire United States. Like it just doesn't get better now for the time.
Yeah.
So all right, this is looking pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So once all that cheese is melted in there, I took 2 eggs, mix that together. Make sure you add the eggs last because you don't want it to like cook. in
Okay.
there.
All right.
So you always beat the eggs and put the 2 eggs in there last.
Okay.
I added a little bit of salt, pepper,
Mm.
and then you just pour
And now
it
you're
in.
sprinkling the leftover cheese on top.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember she said she held out a little bit of each cheese to sprinkle on the top.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Um,
And she'll post this online too.
Mhm.
and you know what's really great about making this show is that we are going to eat this food at the end of the show.
And we're excited because we're hungry.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, something happened. Did it time out or something?
Oh, that's right, we forgot.
What happened?
Is it gonna?
The camera times out.
No. Mm-mm. There we go. We're
There
back.
we go. Our camera timed out. We're
Yeah.
learning.
I forgot.
told
We
you.
forgot
It's
to
like,
hit it.
this is totally candid.
We need to give Dean some props on our drinks. We're drinking some Aperol spritzes.
Yeah.
And
So-
they're delicious. Thank you.
Yeah. So we might put. That's my husband. Dean's my husband. So and then Donnie, April's husband, is our wine guy.
Mhm.
So we've got all kind of culinary
We-
stuff going on.
Mhm. We've got our drinks covered.
Mhm.
That looks so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, and she's just gonna put that in a preheated 350-degree oven.
For about like 20 to 30 minutes, probably just until like the top's all crispy and bubbly. And
Yeah.
Because it's
yummy.
already warm.
Yeah, it's already cooked pretty much. You just want to cook the butter and the eggs and stuff that's in
Yeah,
there.
true. Yeah.
I would
So, yeah.
totally want. This is gonna be on my Thanksgiving table. This was like so easy and looks so amazing.
So easy. Way better than making a roux. 'Cause I burn that thing every time.
Right? Yeah.
Because you turn away to do something else and you come back and
And it's
darn
scorched.
flowers
It's
burnt.
scorched.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up.
Ta-da! Did you show it off there?
Yeah.
All right, good. Turn it the other way. There you go. There you go. Good job.
Yummy.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
delicious.
All right, Miss April. Now it's time for that amazing pineapple casserole. That's very southern.
Yeah.
If you've never heard about it before, it's very southern.
This is my first time.
And we're not sure if it's a dessert or if it's part of the meal, but we eat it as part of the meal. But you
Yeah.
can eat it as dessert. It's one of those things that's, you're just not really sure, but it's just so darn delicious, you don't really care.
Well, the thing about it is, we like our tea sweet, and a side dish should be sweet too, right?
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of y'all have heard of pineapple casserole or not, but it's really easy to make. Anybody can make it, even if you're not good at cooking. So if you're going over to a friend's house and you are intimidated by taking something, take this. It's really good. It's so easy to make. I'm even going to stir it right in the same pot that I'm going to cook it in. So, I mean, it can't get easier than that right there. All right. Grab my drink. I'm like that girl on Food Network. What's her name that drinks all the time while she cooks?
I don't know if I've seen that
The
one.
blonde one.
Well, there you go.
And she makes really easy recipes.
That's right. Yeah.
That's me. I forget her name. But, all right, so this starts with pineapple, of course, because we're making pineapple casserole. I like to use, and this is up to your opinion on what you like to eat. I personally like the tidbits. You can get chunks. You can do slices if you want, but I like the tidbits because they're a little bit smaller. And then I do a crushed as well. So you want to use the juice in the crush because you can't really get that out unless you use a strainer. So you just pour that in there just like that. Dump and go, pretty easy. And I have drained some of the juice out of the pineapple tidbits, mostly all of it, because there's enough liquid in the crushed to make enough liquid for this. So don't worry about that. So drain the tidbits, but just empty the crush right from the can.
Good tip.
All right, so now I need a spoon. Can you spoon?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sous chef.
Yes. Happy to be the sous chef.
Yeah. So I just want to mix this up real fast because I am doing it in the same bowl. I just don't want it to get too crowded. All right, so my pineapple is in there. Then what I'm going to do is add 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, there's some recipes that say add a lot more sugar than that, but to me it's plenty sugary enough with the pineapple. So I usually do somewhere between 1/4 cup and 1/3 cup. It's based on your taste, but that's plenty. So pour in the sugar, just like that. And then you've got And it's not exact because you're just making a casserole. So I usually put somewhere between 3 and 6 tablespoons of flour. It's not exact, but what you want to do is just make sure it's not too wet. So if it looks too wet, so you just add more flour. So just stir this up. You want to be sure it's really well incorporated. Because you know when the flour goes in there, it's raw, but it'll mix really well and then it'll cook while it's in the oven with the rest of the good stuff. So I'm just mixing this up. So far it's just fruit, a little sugar, and flour.
Yeah. I've never made one. I've eaten one. They're delicious. So I'm
That's
enjoying
it. Yep. This is all it is so far. All right. So that is really well stirred and incorporated. And that to me is a perfect consistency.
You get it?
Yep. That's a good consistency there. It's not way too watery. If it were more watery,
with your spoon.
okay.
Yeah.
If it were a lot more watery than that, then I would then I would add some more flour. But that's a perfect consistency. I mean, it's not going to thicken up, a ton while it's in the oven, but it will thicken up some. So you want it a little bit watery at this point. Okay. So after that, we get to add the cheese. So the cheese just goes right in. It's a whole bag. It's 2 cups of cheese. So just toss it in there.
Was that cheddar?
This is sharp cheddar.
Okay.
Sharp cheddar. And again, all of this is customizable to your taste. I've had one before with Gouda in it. It was different, but I like the sharp cheddar. It cuts out some of the sweetness from the pineapple. But play with it, see what you like. You don't have to just make this. It's not one of the most unhealthy things. I'm not going to say it's a health food, but it is something that you could experiment with throughout the year, and make it your own, because that's kind of what, recipes handed down from generation to generation are all about, the special tweaks that you put on it.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is just making sure this cheese is well incorporated, because you don't want to take a whole mouthful of cheese or a whole mouthful of pineapple with no cheese. So
you want that sweet. Think about it. It's going to be that sweet and salty.
Oh,
It's going to be good.
Such a good combo, and it only gets better from here.
Okay.
All right, so next up, I'm going to quick melt this butter. This is a half cup of butter. I'm going to throw it in the microwave real fast to melt.
Just start. There we go. Yeah.
And in the meantime, what you can do while you're waiting on your butter to melt, and I've already done this because I didn't want it to be too loud on camera, but you want to take your Ritz crackers. I already threw away the box, but they're just standard Ritz crackers. I go for the full-on. There's reduced fat, and there's, whole wheat and all that. But again, use what you want to. Since it's Thanksgiving for me, I just go with the regular Ritz crackers, and I use 2 sleeves. It's typically enough for this size casserole dish. If you're making more, then you'll use more Ritz crackers, of course, but just play it by ear there. So this is going to be the topping. So go ahead and smash that up while you're waiting on your butter, and then all you're going to do is empty these into the butter and stir them up really good. There's not a whole lot better than Ritz crackers and butter. So we'll just spread that on top and then bake it at 350 degrees until the Ritz crackers are kind of brown on top and the casserole is heated through. So once that butter is melted, then we'll do that, and then this will be done. So it's literally about 3 steps. It's mix, and then smash this, melt the butter, and put it on top and throw it in the oven. So it's
super easy.
Real easy. And honestly, very delicious for the amount of effort that you put into it. All right, so this bowl here is big enough for 2 bags of Ritz crackers. And I like mine pretty minced up. Like, if I were at home, I would probably whirl these in the food processor for a second. But it's up to you. I would have already had the food processor out for Thanksgiving anyway. But you can easily just smash them in this bag too. It's just you'll have a few other big chunks in there, because if you beat it too hard, your bags will break. So, all right, and then I'm just going to take this spoon and just mix this all together.
You could put that on top of a lot of things.
You could eat this right out the bowl.
Ritz crackers and melted butter.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I've got some bigger chunks, so I'm just going to break these up. But I think it's Reed Drummond says the homier something looks, usually the better it tastes.
The better it tastes. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I've been obsessed lately with Christmas cookie bake-off. So on Sunday, Donnie and I are going to do a Christmas cookie bake-off.
Oh, that'll be
in
fun.
preparation for my gym's cookie bake-off.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got to practice. And we don't care about, they're really good at decorating on that show. We don't care about that. We're going straight for taste.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
All right, so now I have mixed this to the point where everything has butter on it, and the Ritz crackers are softening up just a hair. Okay, so that's when you know it's really well incorporated. So from there, there's no right or wrong to it. You just want to spread this out over this entire casserole. And spread it out a little bit with your spoon once you get it all dumped on there.
I'm going to move this out of the way so they can see me better. Yeah, like April was saying, this is just so simple. And, the holidays can get complex
Hectic.
enough.
Mhm.
Enough,
Yeah. Something like this is such an easy extra thing to have on the table that, maybe some people haven't had. I mean, it is a very southern dish, so I know we have a lot of transplants here, so give it a try.
I mean, it's my first time trying it.
Yeah. All right, so that's the finished product before it goes in the oven. So we're going to pop it in there, and we'll show you the finished product, and it's all done, and your macaroni and cheese is looking amazing.
Yay.
All right, when you pull that mac and cheese out, just put it right
On
on
that.
that.
Awesome.
Okay, guys. All right, now it is time for that turkey roulade. So this has turned people that I know that don't like turkey into turkey lovers. So let me see. I've got to see what's on camera. Let me bring this over here. Here is my turkey breast. Okay. If you can see that, I got a turkey breast at the fresh market, and I had the butcher take the bone out for me, and I opened it up,
amazing.
and that's what it looks like. And I want to go ahead and say, because I don't want anybody to get frustrated, and you can always call me. You can call people on Facebook. You actually can, but my phone number is everywhere. But like these little breast pieces were up like that, so you want to open up the breast pieces. And then the thighs were really thick, and I just took a knife and just cut a little bit, and then opened the thigh pieces, and then I just kind of pounded everything down. And so you have this like nice, even breast meat. Okay,
That looks good.
yeah.
So that's all white meat there?
That's all white meat.
Okay,
It's a
that's
full.
huge after it's all
Yeah.
laid out like that.
Right? It's like, who knew a chicken breast was that big?
Yeah.
I mean, not chicken breast, but
Turkey,
turkey
yeah.
breasts.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So so it's just, prep is everything. So prep is everything. Prep is sanity in the holidays. Prep is actually, for cooking, prep is always sanity. So,
That's true.
right?
Mhm.
So I have all my ingredients prepped over
Put
here.
it there. It's probably not too hot
Maybe
anymore.
here. No,
Maybe
it
right
shouldn't be
here.
hot. Yeah, maybe right here. Okay. So what I'm going to start out with is just a very generous amount of salt and pepper. And I don't remember exactly how much this was. I measured it out according to the recipe. I think it's 4 tablespoons salt and a tablespoon and a half of pepper. Like I said, I can put the recipe in. And it looks like so much, but this,
Turkey needs a lot of flavor.
it needs a lot of flavor, and this is almost 5 pounds of meat.
Wow.
I mean, think about that. Okay, and so then all right, so that's the salt and pepper. And then this mixture is what I was sauteing before. And it's just the onion and the fennel and the sage and the garlic. And I'll just go, actually, maybe a little spoon right there. That's just easier.
Okay.
So now you're gonna spread this all over your turkey breast. So you're just adding a lot of flavor. It's almost like you're putting the stuffing inside the turkey,
Yeah.
but it's not stuffing. Yeah, there's no bread. There's no bread. It's just flavor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And like, if you didn't like onions, so like my husband doesn't like
Right.
onions, what do you think? What could we put instead?
You could put anything. Like you could do celery. You could do leeks. You could do
Yeah, leeks would be good.
leeks. Leeks, shallots, celery.
Yeah, but he does like shallots, so shallots
Okay,
would be
shallots
easy
will
enough
work.
to switch out.
Yeah. And so you just spread that all over as well as you can. Just
That looks good
Yeah.
already.
yeah. Okay. And then we are going to do. I have to remember all the parts to it. So right. So all right. So this pile that looks like shredded cheese is actually shredded butter. So
Wow.
So if you take your stick of butter, you need half a stick of cold butter, you just grate it on a cheese grater so that you can easily spread it on your turkey. Now remember, turkey breast is almost fat-free, and maybe some of you like that, but we're going for flavor here, and we're right.
Yeah, a little
right?
fat flavor.
Yeah, and you got to add some fat to it. So
And that's not that much butter for that much meat.
that's just it, because this feeds a lot of people.
This actually is
Yeah.
pretty healthy.
It actually is, and because it's 4 tablespoons. It looks like so much. You're like, wait, I haven't. It's shredded, but this is only 4 tablespoons.
That's not a lot.
So it's not. And so one thing that
Especially us Southern girls. Hey,
I know, it's like everything has
There's 4 pounds of butter in that mac and cheese in there.
so
Yeah, there's this.
yes.
Yeah.
Now what I have here is prosciutto.
Mm.
Now this is something that I would have thought to do on my own. Thank you, Anna Garden. And so you just have those thin slices of prosciutto.
And explain to people what prosciutto is if they don't know.
Right. So this prosciutto is an Italian ham, and it's cured. I guess it's dried and cured a little bit, and it's very flavorful, and it's generally sliced very thin. I mean, if you can go to the deli and get it sliced, but you can find it
I
already
think it's
sliced
a
in
lot more
packages.
popular now than it used to be because the charcuterie trays have been so popular.
Right.
It's so good.
I mean, I'm
Crackers and cheese.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, like, this is not something in the 70s that we had ever heard of before, in our lives. But now it's like my kids grew up having it.
And it's a little fancier than bacon.
It's a little fancy.
It's like fancy bacon.
Yeah.
Don't forget that piece right there.
Oh, thank you.
You don't want to waste it.
No, oh, mercy, no, I don't want to do that. All right, so now I have everything, just all those layers over this turkey. And where do you guys see my string? It's right
Yeah,
here.
it's right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, good. Okay. So this is where it can get a little messy, and maybe a couple paper towels.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take one of the ends of the turkey breast. I'm just going to start rolling it over on itself. Now I had this turkey breast. I failed to mention this, but it was skin side down. You want the skin.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely want the skin because that's what's going to keep that turkey moist as it cooks. So see how I've just rolled it up?
That looks so
Can I
good.
see that? Yeah, so you can see it from the side, and you roll it up, and then you take your string. So you need cotton string that's made pretty much for the kitchen. You might be able to get it I don't even
It's
know.
like butcher twine or
Yeah,
something.
it's just butcher twine.
Mhm.
I have like 3 rolls of it. I don't even know where I got actually even the first
I think
one.
you can get it from the grocery store.
I think that I got it at the grocery store. Yeah, like where the cheesecloth is. If you've ever, I know Fresh Market has that stuff and Publix has that stuff. And so you want to just tie it up about every 1.5 inches or so. And that's going to
stays together.
make sure it stays together. Make sure it helps it cook evenly. Because you know how when you cook a turkey, like by the time you get the dark meat cooked, the white meat is all dry and overcooked. And that's why most people don't like turkey because it's all dry and overcooked.
Yeah.
Well, this is all going to cook at the same rate. And it's got the flavor and the moisture
Tenderness.
inside it. And so, like I said, I've had people at my table, my Thanksgiving table, they didn't think they liked
You want
turkey,
one more
and
piece,
they
or you
loved
think
it.
you're
I
good?
do need one
Okay.
more piece. So can you see? Can they see? Yeah, they can see you cutting the line. So yeah, it's just super simple. It's just like there's nothing. It's not rocket science. You're cutting a piece of twine.
No, this is real easy.
Yeah.
I like this about all our recipes. They have been
Yeah.
easy tonight.
Easy,
And
yeah.
our favorite things happen to be easy.
I know, isn't that great? I wonder if there's any coincidence to
No,
that.
probably not.
I think things taste better when they're simple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And thankfully, a lot of things at Thanksgiving are fairly simple, I would say.
Yeah. Actually, they are.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you just
Not
kind of
casseroles.
stop and think.
It's just
Yeah.
a lot of, like you said, figuring out the logistics of how
One
to
more
fit
time.
everything in your oven and
Yeah. Now that can be Now that can be the challenge.
and planning ahead. Make sure you got enough dishes and
Yeah. Yeah.
when things will be
yeah.
ready.
Prep-
That can be the frustrating part.
Prep truly is everything, or you're gonna lose your mind the day of Thanksgiving.
And so many restaurants now, I don't know, what will happen with COVID, but
Mhm.
so many restaurants offer Thanksgiving, meals as well if you can't cook or,
Yeah. So now what I'm gonna do and you don't have to do this, but I think it's nice. I mean, Ina does it. You take your little sage leaves, which I bought in the refrigerated section in the produce department of Publix. I had to cut some up for inside the turkey already, and you just put one under each knot of your twine, and it just cooks up so pretty.
And it elevates the presentation.
It elevates the presentation.
It makes it taste better.
And
It looks good.
I just want to let you know that April's the one that came up with the spatchcock words tonight. Like, I knew it, but she's the one that came up with it.
Thanks,
So
friend.
elevates, yes. So now you know what I'm actually going to do. So I wanted you guys to see me make this, but I'm actually going to wrap this up and put it in the refrigerator and cook it later. I'm going to put it in the freezer to cook for Thanksgiving because I've already made you guys one.
Nice.
But I am going to show you,
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
You can freeze it and cook
Right.
it. It's great.
just for the sake of demonstration though. So you've seen what I've done so far. And so then you take your beautiful, I mean, look at this thing.
That's
this is just gorgeous.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this is what it looks like. It cooks really evenly. You put it in your pan and you go ahead and you actually put more salt and pepper on the outside. I just like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And
That
you know,
skin's gonna get so nice and
this
crispy and
is going to get
brown.
so crispy and brown and tender. Or not tender, but the meat will be tender inside.
In my house,
Mhm.
if I made that,
Mhm.
they would get it without the skin on it because I would have already picked it off.
Picked all the skin. Yeah, right?
That's the best part.
1 cup of white wine.
Just pouring that underneath, not
Yeah.
on it.
Right, okay. So one thing I didn't show you, but this turkey breast is on a rack. And so we've got the wine in there, and now we have
And
1
that
cup of
keeps it
wine and 1 cup of
moist,
water.
Right.
And then it will cook at, gosh, what was it? It was 350. It was 350. It depends on how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a smaller one, it could be as little as an hour and a half. This
Mhm.
one's probably going to be 2 hours. But
Yeah.
you want it to cook it until it's 155 degrees.
Okay.
And you just use a thermometer for that.
Okay.
So I'm going to rinse
Yeah,
my
350 is what it says.
hands. Yeah.
Mhm. But the big thing is to just have the thermometer.
Yeah. Because it's hard to, you just, it depends on how cold your meat is, how hot your oven. Not, a lot of people think, oh, when I put my oven on 350, it's actually 350. If you get one of those thermometers that measures oven temp, you can be as much as 10 degrees off. It can be like what they call a slow oven or a
Right.
fast oven.
So what happens once it comes out of the oven? What do you do
Yeah,
then?
so here we go. You can just let it rest.
Okay. Do you need
So-
to cover it or anything?
No, you really don't need to cover it when it comes out of the oven. So here we have the uncooked one. And it'll come out of the oven and that wine and that water will have cooked way down and it'll be gorgeous. And I just put it on the stove and stir it around and maybe add a little broth. And it makes it like a juicy gravy, not a
That
thick
sounds
gravy.
good, yeah.
But there's so much flavor in the turkey that you don't need that heavy
Right.
flour gravy. And then it comes out, like I said, I made one for you guys.
That's gorgeous.
So
Put it
this
right
is
on the
what,
front so they can see
yeah,
it.
that's what it looks
Beautiful.
like. I just put some parsley around it. You eat with your eyes first. Just
Mhm.
put it on the plate and garnish it. And then to serve it, you just take off the twine and it just slices and it slices up real pretty. So I'm
Beautiful.
gonna put that in the fridge.
Okay.
And then you guys have some stuff coming out too now, don't
So
you?
was that one about that size when it started? That shrunk up
No,
too much?
that was a much smaller one.
Okay, good to know. All right.
Yeah, so I will say, when you go to the butcher, you're going to want to let it, they'll have, at least at Fresh Market, they have multiple fresh turkey breasts. And they're different sizes. We don't really think about the fact, but it's a natural product, and turkeys are different sizes.
Yeah.
And so this,
Like us.
I know, like us. And so this turkey breast was, after it was boned, was only 3 pounds, and this turkey breast was 4.5. I mean, it's half again as big if you think about that.
Yeah.
And so that only took an hour and a half to cook,
Mhm.
but I know that this is going to take longer.
Mhm.
And if I started, and that started more room temperature when I cooked it, and this is going to start really cold, so I
Mhm.
know it's going to take longer.
Or
That's
you
a really
leave
good
it
question.
out for a long time. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do the pineapple casserole.
Okay.
All right. So through the magic of TV, we have a finished one here. And you can see that the top, I don't think it's still too hot to touch, the top is all nice and brown. And it's beautiful and buttery, and it's going to be delicious inside. Think you're ready?
I don't know if it's ready yet.
It's looking really good, though. The top is a little bit brown.
It needs a couple more minutes.
Maybe hit the roller for a second. To brown it.
Is it gonna mess up yours?
No. That's fine. Let's see. Just let it cheat the brown. So where did we leave off? We left off in Myrtle.
Yeah, we did. Like we were just talking about those cabanas.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then we talked about the high rises and downtown and all that. So then on up from there, we got Briarcliff Acres. Oh no, we left off at Grand Dunes.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit north. So
Yeah.
after Grand Dunes, you got Briarcliff, and then Barefoot Landing.
Yeah, now Barefoot Landing is in North Myrtle Beach, and one thing I do want to specifically say is that so Myrtle Beach is a city. Okay, North Myrtle Beach is not the north part of Myrtle Beach. North Myrtle Beach is its own city, north of Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Barefoot Landing, and some people know about Barefoot Landing. So, Barefoot Landing is a planned urban development. Well, it's not really an urban development. It's a neighborhood. It's interesting.
Favorite resort.
It's a resort, and so you have the Market Common, which is that redeveloped Air Force base, and it's at the very bottommost edge of Myrtle Beach, between Highway 17 Business and Highway 17 Bypass. And then if you just go straight north and you barely hit North Myrtle, and the bottommost part of North Myrtle Beach, you have Barefoot Landing, and it's the same dimensions. Like it's just a little bit off the beach. And so, but they don't have shops and stuff in the development. It's all condos and townhomes and mostly houses.
But right outside the development is Barefoot Landing.
Yeah.
And just to get the terminology right, South Myrtle Beach isn't a thing. It's South Strand Myrtle Beach. And then there's North Myrtle Beach, and then there's like the northern part of Myrtle Beach, and then there's like Central Myrtle Beach. But, a lot of people will call it like South Myrtle Beach because there's a North Myrtle Beach, but really it's like Southern Strand.
Yeah.
And you'll see that on the signs. They've tried to reinforce that, and then when they redid the signs a few years ago, so it'll say arrows to South Strand. So they're trying to, make us say it right.
Well.
So. We've got some comments and viewers.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So, let's see here.
I'm going to put these triggers in.
Oh, yeah. Holly D. Francisco said, don't forget the bowling in the former Piggly Wiggly and the state parks. That's very true. We did totally gloss over all the beautiful state parks. So there's Huntington State Park between Pawleys and, Litchfield and Merle's Inlet. And then Brook Green Gardens is gorgeous. It's in Litchfield as well. And then there's the Myrtle Beach State Park. So all those are gorgeous places to ride around, walk through. There's walking trails. Brook Green Gardens has Night of a Thousand Candles.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's so fun.
It's amazing.
Portia says she can't see what we're making, but our backdrop is amazing. That's Lane's beautiful house. And
she
then
can't see what we're making. What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe she couldn't. I don't know. We'll have to ask her.
We'll
What do you mean,
ask.
Portia? Tell us. Oh, much better angle to see the food. I guess we had changed
hold it
whatever.
up,
Oh,
it's
yeah. When we
Okay.
held it up, she
Thank
liked
you
that
for
better.
that. We need that feedback because
Mhm.
we're novices.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We're not pros.
We're not the Food Network.
And then my mom-
Just
Not
yet.
that
We will
just
be.
yet.
My mom commented while I was making the pineapple casserole. That's her favorite, and it is.
Okay.
Definitely done.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
then, perfect, yeah. You take that out. And then, because you checked on that. And then, Trisha, my friend, says, love it, doing great, girls. And then my aunt said, hey, guys, with some smiling
Gotta
faces.
You can put
So,
it right here.
If you're watching, you better shout out to
You want
us
to
and
put it
let us know. No, not that one, yours. I already got mine.
She's
on.
got it to the side, though.
There you go. Burn yourself.
Yummy.
Yum.
Yeah, that was great.
She is done.
Yay. There it is.
Looks delicious.
Okay, so here we have our Tuscan turkey roulade and our pineapple casserole and the grandma's mac and cheese and
Still sizzling and
Yeah.
brown on top.
yeah,
So good.
and we'll need to post the recipes after.
We will.
So so look for those. And if you have any questions, just text us or our numbers are all over the place. For
All on our
recipes.
Facebook page,
Yeah.
on our website.
Yeah. So real quick, we got to North Myrtle and Barefoot Landing,
Mm-hmm.
and north of that is like the Cherry Grove Little River area.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they're more like small towns, like
Mhm.
southern towns,
Yeah.
as opposed to touristy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very true. And then Longs,
Yeah,
Lawrence,
they're inland a little bit.
Carolina Forest, lots of places. That's why you need a realtor
Yeah.
to help you pick out the perfect spot
Yeah.
for you. Because we, based on, if you just tell us what you like, what you're looking for, we can typically, and we'll show you all the spots so you can see for yourself. But typically there's a spot that fits you best based on what you
Right.
want. and your
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah, meet with us and spend time with us. Like, I know it can get real exciting, and you're like, maybe you'll hit our website and you're like, Lane or April or Megan, I want to look at properties right away. But it is really nice to have a little conversation first, so we can get to know you and your personality, and kind of know where to start showing you properties. Because Myrtle Beach, like, how many times have we had somebody say, okay, I want a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home in Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Show me. It's like the possibilities are endless. Or 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or what? I mean,
Yeah.
we can show you one of those anywhere, but
Mm-hmm.
the areas are
Yeah.
different.
And we have a great team too. We've got great lender that works with us,
An attorney.
and a great attorney that's all on our team that we work with, that we trust. So you're in good hands with us.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, in people, we do, we have the attorney and lender, like April mentioned, but we also can provide a lot of recommendations when it comes time for inspections or handyman or landscapers.
Furniture stores.
Furniture
places to eat.
stores. You're not alone. And I guess what we're trying to say is you're not alone. You're not on your own. You don't have to try to find something that you don't know about just by Googling it. I mean, if you live here, you're pretty solid. You maybe you still want suggestions, and we're here for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're full service. We do this full time.
Mm-hmm.
This is our only job. It's our only passion, and we're here to help you. And one thing I just really wanted to go out of our way to say is everyone is welcome at our table. So whether you are joining us, at the bar to cook with us, or whether you're joining us at the closing table, everyone is welcome at our table. Everyone needs a home, and maybe sometimes you need to move on. But we're here for you. So we hope you enjoyed tonight, and we hope to hear more from you. And we're going to do this once a month.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been on your mind, and we'll announce it. It's not always going to be the exact same weekend of each month. It'll be somewhere in the middle, but we'll reach out.
Okay. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate you. Good night.
Yay.